need to do this, okay?
I don't know if you're going to let Ricky do it, you probably don't have to.
I don't think so. I think it's for our benefit. Good evening. I'd like to call to order the joint Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of October 14th, 2009. I guess one little housekeeping item we need to decide on. Our regular scheduled November meeting is on November 11th. So it is a parish holiday, from what I understand. So to fulfill, I guess, the staff's request, they would like to have the meeting moved. And I think the day
Parish holiday for what?
I think it's Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
So
Canada?
obviously the two options are a week earlier or a week later. I think everybody's kind of thinking that a week earlier would be the best if Patrice can get the advertisement in this week, which I think she can. So
what date is that?
4th.
Motion to move the meeting to November 4th.
All right, we have a motion to
Same time.
move it to
same place.
same time, to move it to November 4th.
Can we amend that? Move it to
Depends.
the 4th, but with amend it to where to accommodate public notices.
Right, yeah. And that,
Yeah. Such amended.
in the event that we can't get it in, then it needs to go to the 18th. You're right, absolutely. All right, so we'll have a motion and seconded to move it to November 4th with the condition that we can get the advertisement in the paper on time. In the event we can't, we'll move it to the 18th. Any opposition? All right. Motion carries. Let the record show that all members are present, except Mr. Dumas. Thank you. Never mind. This time I'd like to open up the floor for public comment period. Anyone wishing to come forward and address any item not on the agenda, please come forward. No one wishing to come forward. Public comment period is closed. Item number 4, public hearing to recommend the following ordinances. Mr. Compton.
Thank you. I have 3 ordinances that we want to talk about tonight. They're all are related, and so that's why we wanted to do it at a joint meeting. The first ordinance is revising the tables that appear in our development code. The purpose of this ordinance is to modify the measuring method of building setback lines to ensure the public safety and welfare is being considered upon approval of new vehicle access corridor by requiring building setbacks to be measured from vehicle access corridors where existing in addition to property lines. So what we've done is we've added a note to our table B. The top row is revised to say minimum front setback feet, and we've eliminated the words from property line. And the note that has been added at the bottom says the above setbacks are measured from the closest part of a building or structure, including but not limited to eaves, overhangs, or cantilevered features, to the closest property line or vehicle use corridors, whichever is closest to the structure. So what I can do is I can flash here on the screen the change on the actual tables. So down here at the bottom, we've added a note 3 that says now where we're going to be measuring the setbacks from. And the other 2 ordinances start to define what a vehicle use corridor is. And that note appears on all 3 of the tables that have the setback distances noted.
Okay. I think we just need to handle them one at a time.
Yes.
So, any comments, questions at this time on this ordinance DC 0907? No comments, questions. Open up the floor for public hearing. Anyone wishing to come forward and comment, please do so. No one wishing to come forward. Public comment period is closed. Any other questions, comments by commissioners? What is the wish of the commission?
Is this to approve, or does this go to the council?
You guys are going to make a recommendation for me to then, I'll take it to strategic planning, and then I'll take it to the council in that order. So you guys are making a recommendation.
Okay, so the motion is a recommendation to
Approve.
To approve.
motion.
Okay, second.
All right.
Since this is a joint meeting, do we need to vote as the planning commission and then again as the zoning commission?
I would say yes. Well, it's a joint, so I mean, we're all one body. So
Well, we just
that-
need to make sure, because
Yeah, that's my interpretation. Of course, we'll
As
check
the-
with legal here. You have any other?
I think you announce it as a joint meeting, so you
We-
can vote as a joint committee right now.
Yeah, which we did. All right, here we go. Motion to recommend approval by Sherry Slyman, seconded by Bob Nance. Any opposition? Motion carries.
The next one, the purpose of this ordinance is to modify the measuring method for building setback lines in the interest of public safety and welfare. The change requires setbacks from vehicle access corridors or property lines, whichever is closest to the structure, and defines what a vehicle access corridor is. And the changes come in section 17-378, specific definitions of our development code. Building line is now defined as a line on a lot parallel to lot lines and the adjacent vehicle use corridors located a sufficient distance therefrom to provide the minimum yards required by this ordinance. The building line delimits the area which buildings are permitted, subject to all applicable provisions of this ordinance. A vehicle use corridor is defined as an area of land designated for vehicle use, not specific to the property on which it is located. A vehicle use corridor may be a public or private servitude or right-of-way. Yard front is now defined as a yard extending the full width of the front of a lot between the vehicle use corridor and the front building line.
Questions, comments? Questions or comments at this time? Open up the floor for public hearing. Anyone wishing to comment, please come forward. No one wishing to comment, public hearing is closed.
Motion to approve? Second.
We have a motion, recommend approval by Sherry Slyman, seconded by Beverly Barre. Any opposition? Motion carries.
The final ordinance reads, the purpose of this ordinance is to remove references to setbacks for conflicts found in the Development Code and making the Development Code the setback authority, clarifying the definition of a street, and to create a definition of vehicle access corridor that is consistent with the Development Code. So this change is for our subdivision ordinance. So section 10.201 is being revised to read, the term street shall be used herein to mean improved corridors designated for vehicle use. 10.304 is a new one that reads vehicle use corridor, an area of land designated for vehicle use, not specific to the property on which it is located. A vehicle use corridor may be a public or private servitude or right-of-way. And section 35.108 is being amended to read, building line setbacks shall be applied as identified and required in the Ascension Parish Development Code.
All right. Questions, comments? No questions or comments at this time. Open up the floor for public hearing. Anyone wishing to comment, please come forward. No one wishing to comment, public hearing is closed.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion approved by Buddy Wells, seconded by Bob Nance. Any opposition? Motion carries. Okay, item number 5, I don't, since it's on the joint, I don't really think that's appropriate, since it's a joint meeting. I will cover that in the zoning committee, subcommittee report. All right, and item number 6, we are adjourned.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.